I'm Guy Taylor from Threat Status at the Washington Times. We're in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates at IDEX, and we're with Trey Stevenson. He's the Senior Vice President and General Manager of Uncrewed Systems at AeroVironment, a U.S. company that's one of the leading drone producers in the world. Trace, tell me why it's important for AeroVironment to be here at this market in the Middle East.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Guy. We've been selling to these customers and our allies in this region for years. And, it's really important for us to support our U.S. allies and to provide, as you mentioned, some of the best technology that we can give them to really protect their countries and their borders going forward. And so we're really focused on, bringing the next generation systems that the U.S. military and Ukraine are currently utilizing to fight their fights into this region so that they have the same capabilities to protect their borders as well.
Tell me a little bit about what AeroVironment has brought to IDEX. I know you've got some pretty fancy elite drones on display. Walk us through it.
Yeah, of course. Well, over there we've got our Switchblade family of loitering munitions, and I think they've been in the public quite a bit. We've been on the replicator program that Deputy Secretary Kathleen Hicks initiated in the U.S. We've also been provided those platforms to Ukraine since the beginning of the conflict, and as a result of that, the market for those type of systems has exploded exponentially. AeroVironment was the pioneer in that class, or that created that market and that category of loitering munition. And I don't know if you walked around the show, but you pretty much see a loitering munition in every booth at this show. But we're the ones that created that franchise, and we're very proud of it. With respect to our fixed wing platforms, here at IDEX, we just launched Jump 20X, which is our cross-domain Group 3 persistent autonomous drone that carries multiple payloads, lands on Navy decks, lands on land, so cross-domain, and does that fully autonomously. And the other one we're proud to talk about is we released this one at AUSA. This is our P550, built for the long-range reconnaissance program of record with the U.S. Army. And again, it's also focused on a concept that we call MOSA, which is Modular Open Systems Approach. And that's key because these systems have to be open so that as new technology gets created in the future, the customer doesn't have to buy another drone. They can just apply that new technology through this MOSA approach to the existing drone and keep it relevant as the world changes.
Let's talk about how the world is changing in the future. AeroVironment recently acquired a company called Blue Halo, which is a Virginia-based advanced tech company. Why did that happen, and where's that going for AeroVironment?
Yeah, when we looked at Blue Halo, again, when our acquisition strategy is really how do we become a multi-domain autonomous robotic system provider that can perform missions with these platforms that can't be performed by themselves or without a combination of something else. So Blue Halo is a very complementary company that brings space into our portfolio. It also brings counter UAS into our portfolio, counter unmanned systems, which you would think, hey, AV should have that capability because we have the best drones in the business. We should be able to understand and provide products that can counter drones in the business as well. They also provide electronic warfare and directed energy focused on space and counter drones as well.
You brought up the Pentagon's replicator initiative. If you had one piece of advice to the new administration in Washington about a change that could be made in the procurement and acquisition process, what would it be to keep the United States as a cutting-edge country around the world in futuristic production?
Yeah, I think, again, looking at what this current conflict in Ukraine has created and really positioning ourselves and the country as being able to be prepared to address large scales of these type of drones, quads, first-person view platforms coming at you in mass numbers. And that's what we've seen in Ukraine. We've heard, they're going through thousands of these a year, a month, so have it. And we have to be prepared to defend ourselves and have capabilities beyond that to counter that in the future. And so I think, again, with the Blue Halo and the counter UAS, and then what we're doing on the drone space, I think we're well positioned, and that the U.S. government is also acknowledging that this is the future of warfare.
Trey Stevenson, thanks so much for joining Threat Status here at IDEX. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Guy. Thank you.